So asked Twitter what y'all wanted to see, and we got a few responses. So thank you for kindness is contagious for responding. Looking for a dashboard for analysis, and Helena had asked for something similar as well, more around the personal dashboard setup. So let's go into four super personal data-centric examples that I like to track in Coda, how I'm feeling over time, weather that's coming up, tasks that I've completed, and my favorite movies. So let's start first with how I'm feeling. So typically, if I'm just checking in each day or maybe my team each week, you'll get some sort of time series data over time for how you're feeling. By the way, I'm using the column type scale for this. So you can go over here, head over to number and pick different scales. Smiley face, chili peppers, suns are all good ones. So going back to January, here's my time series data over time. I'm happy on a few days, not on other days. And what I want to do with this is plot how I'm feeling over time. So what I'll do is I'll add a line chart. That's the most common with some of this time series data. And how I'm feeling today. All right, cool. So it's showing over time. It's a little spiky. So what I want to do is over here, under more options, just smooth out the line. Hey, looks great. Moving on to weather. So I'm using the weather pack. It's pulling in data from AccuWeather. I'm automatically bringing in the image, min temp. I also want to get the max temp of the day. All right, perfect. Temp max. Actually, I want to rename this. It'll be easier to find later. Temp min. All right. So now that we got that, let's just create a copy of this. And let's see how things look over time as well, similar to the time series data before. So I'll have this go over into a chart. Bar chart doesn't really make sense here. I kind of like the line chart on this one. So right now it's plotting the minimum temperature and then the maximum temperature. And let's flip that. I want max to show up on the top. And then let's change the max to daytime, the minimum to nighttime. I kind of like the pointiness on this one. So perfect. We can see that coming up, it looks like the temperature is actually going down in Seattle. Let's see how things change if I go Atlanta. And by the way, this forecast formula is just taking the location that I'm putting in here and then passing in the date and querying AccuWeather. Things are actually getting a little bit better, it looks like, coming up in ATL. Moving over to tasks. So this is the way that I like to track tasks. Oftentimes, I like to see how busy the team or myself is coming up. So oftentimes you have these like t-shirt sizes of small, medium, large, extra large, big, massive thing coming up. And what I'm doing here is I'm automatically pulling in a number, and this will allow me to plot it. What I'm doing is I have another table here. I can put in effort. So massive can be 10, large can be 5. We can do whatever we want. And then I am just saying, hey, the effort here, pull in the effort from this table. So we actually can get some numbers in here, but I can still easily change it with like human readable, more friendly type of efforts. So for this one, what do we want to do? Probably take a look at the overall effort, like my load across all the different task statuses. And that feels like a bar chart is probably a good one. Take a look at all of my tasks, group it by the status, and I'm going to look at the number, not the actual small, medium, large. So it's summing up all those. And And okay, so here's my entire task list, how we're doing. I'll zoom out a little. Something that I want to do is not look at my entire task, maybe just for this month. So I'll filter it down for just this month. Okay, cool. So we have a lot coming up. A lot that I finished. That's awesome. And then as I move through and finish more, let's say, for example, a lot of these were actually active. Um, Now I have a lot of tasks on my plate, probably a little bit too much right now. Last one is movies. So here's my own personal IMDb. And what I've done is I've categorized them by different genres, similar to the t-shirt size before. I just have another table here and I'm connecting the genre. What you can do with tables like this is you can do a reverse lookup, kind of like a VLOOKUP, and show me all of the, in this case, TV shows and movies that connect to each of the genres. And to do any sort of analysis, I would probably want to take this and just get a count. Okay, perfect. So now that we have a count for adventure, comedy, and all those, let's see where my preferences stack up. So probably a pie chart would be best for this one. Genres. All right. Maybe change some of the colors if you want. But it looks like I'm a big fan of adventure and comedy and probably the interaction between the two. That's why things like Hunt for the Wilder People is very high up on my list because it shows up in both categories. So now that we have some of these, what I can do in this dashboard here is start putting it all together. So I'll delete all of these things, and then you can drag and drop these dashboards to the overall dashboard page, pull it in, weather that's coming up, how I've been feeling. And so Coda today is going to look like this, where you can have a scrolling dashboard, but very soon you'll start to be able to do things like this. So start looking at charts side by side, how I'm feeling, coming up here. Maybe what I also want to do, just gonna make this a little smaller, is this chart for the genres. Maybe I want to also see what's coming up on my movie list. And take a look at the movies that I'm very excited to watch coming up. Are there any? It looks like I'm not excited to watch any, so I'll put them there. Okay, cool. They're starting to show up here. And how about we just hide them all? These look kind of fun. And pull them over here. Cool. So those are movies that are coming up, things that I've already watched, and then over time, how I'm tracking.